Just before 5 o'clock this evening, Lord Mandelson was escorted from his home by 2 police officers and led into an unmarked car. A leading figure in British politics for more than 4 decades, tonight finds himself in police custody. In a statement, the Metropolitan Police said officers have arrested a 72-year-old man on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He was arrested at an address in Camden on Monday, the 23rd of February, and has been taken to a London police station for interview. This follows search warrants at 2 addresses in the Wiltshire and Camden areas. It was emails released last month by the US Department of Justice that prompted police to open an investigation. Their investigation is likely to focus on whether Lord Mandelson shared highly sensitive government information with the financier and convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Some contain details of a forthcoming £500 billion EU bailout, and one appeared to give advance notice of Gordon Brown's resignation as Prime Minister around 9 hours before this market-sensitive information was made public. The messages date back to when Lord Mandelson served as Business Secretary in Gordon Brown's government. The Prime Minister says he knew none of this when he celebrated Lord Mandelson's appointment as his US ambassador just over a year ago. He lasted just 7 months in that role, sacked by Keir Starmer when more evidence emerged of Peter Mandelson's close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. But the Prime Minister's decision to appoint Lord Mandelson has raised serious questions about his own judgment.
I am sorry. Sorry for what was done to you. Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him. And sorry that even now you're forced to watch this story unfold in public once again.
Lord Mandelson resigned from the House of Lords last month. Today, the government said it was still working on legislation to remove his title. And ministers said the first batch of documents relating to his appointment as ambassador would be released early next month.
The government intends to publish documents in tranches instead of one publication at the end of the process, given that we are unable to confirm how long that process will take. On that basis, the government expects to be able to publish the first tranche of documents very shortly in early March.
Tonight, Peter Mandelson remains in a North London police station under questioning from Met Police. Harry Horton, ITV News.
OK, well, let's get the latest reaction now from our correspondent. Sam Holder is at Lord Mandelson's home in central London. Rachel Younger is at Scotland Yard, and our political correspondent Shihad Khan is in Downing Street. Well, turning to you, first of all, Sam, what do we know about this arrest?
Well, it was behind me here in this ultra-exclusive part of London that Peter Mandelson was arrested at his multi-million-pound home earlier this evening. Just before 5 o'clock, plainclothes officers were seen leading the former business secretary out of his townhouse here in Regent's Park. They were wearing police body cameras over their clothing and into an unmarked police car. As you heard, he has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He did not appear to be put in handcuffs when he was put into the back of the unmarked car. Now, police began searching the house here in Regent's Park and another of Mandelson's properties in Wiltshire on the 6th of February in response to those allegations of misconduct, which came about as a result of documents released as part of the Epstein files. Cameras have been waiting here since then for weeks, ready to capture that moment, and tonight it happened. One of the most significant arrests of a British political figure in modern history.
Well, let's go straight to Rachel at Scotland Yard now. Rachel, what do we know about what will be happening inside where you are right now?
Station Lord Mandelson has been taken to. The process that follows next, if you are arrested in England or Wales, is a standard one, and despite his title, he will be given no special treatment. He will be taken to a cell in the custody suite, and that cell will be very sparse. It will likely contain just a bed and a toilet. He will be told by the custody sergeant where he's been being held, and he'll also be asked whether he has any medical needs that need to be attended to. Now, police will then be able to take his photograph, they will take his DNA too, using either a hair or a mouth swab, and they will take a set of fingerprints. And he will be left in that cell until they are ready to question him. Now, he will be informed by the custody sergeant that he is entitled to free legal advice or a call to be made to his solicitor. Now, the solicitor may well tell him not to answer any questions, but he will be read that standard statement. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention something you later rely on in court. Police will have 24 hours to question him before he needs to be either charged or released pending further investigation. So both those detectives and for Lord Mandelson himself, the clock is now ticking.
OK, finally, let's go to Shihab in Downing Street. Shihab, just how damaging will this latest development be?
Well, the arrest of Lord Peter Mandelson will undoubtedly raise questions about the Prime Minister and his judgment. Remember, it's not very long ago that we saw Keir Starmer alongside Peter Mandelson as he was unveiled as the new ambassador to the United States, an incredibly influential role at a time when Donald Trump is the president and things are so up in the air. He was tasked with a huge, huge role. And remember, Peter Mandelson did not come with a perfectly clean record. Controversy has followed him for his entire career. He twice resigned from government over scandal, and there were plenty of MPs at the time who raised an eyebrow at that decision. It is now that those MPs are asking why such a big risk was taken given his previous history. Now, the leader of the opposition, Kemi Badenoch, she's been talking today. Here's what she's had to say because she wants to emphasise that exact point.
This is the defining moment of Keir Starmer's premiership. Watching the man who he appointed to the highest position in our diplomatic service getting arrested by police, I think is an image that's going to stay with all of us for many, many years to come.
Now, Number 10 have repeatedly said that the full extent of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein wasn't known at the time of his appointment. They say that once they knew, they acted quickly. But undoubtedly, as the Prime Minister and his team watch the images of Peter Mandelson being arrested tonight, I'm sure they'll admit that it was a mistake to make him US ambassador.
OK, Shihab Khan, Rachel Younger and Sam Holder. Thank you all.